Coming up on Mountain News this morning, rounds of wintry weather caused some issues with Kentucky's blood supply, and Kentucky lawmakers aim to help students here in the Commonwealth get more time to eat before the class bell rings.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday. I'm Dakota Makeris, and it's just before 5 o'clock here, and I just spoke about wintry weather, and boy, am I glad we're not dealing with it this week. And I know Brandon Robinson certainly is happy about that. So all calm again this morning, and I didn't see any of that rain yesterday. Do you know where did anybody report any rain? Or
some spots seen just a little bit. I had a couple of actually, yesterday was National Pizza Day. I'll get there in a second. I went and got a pizza, and I had a couple of raindrops on my windshield on the way back from that. But again, not too many people saw a lot of rain last night, and that's some good news. It was kind of a weaker cold front, brought just a little bit of moisture and a little bit of rain, but not a whole lot, and that's going to cool us off a smidge today. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar this morning. I'll get my words together here in a second, and you'll see again maybe just a couple of sprinkles over in the parts of southern West Virginia and East Kentucky this morning, so we're keeping an eye on that for you. Temperatures milder than they were this time yesterday, 20s, 30s, and 40s out there, so already a nice warming trend. No teens this morning, but again, some spots could get a little colder before it's all said and done. Now, we've got those winds cranking in from the west and the southwest right now. That's going to take us up just a little bit today, but it's not going to make too much of a difference as we only top out right around 50 this afternoon. This morning, though, not too bad. Some clouds out there in some locations, and then we'll see some sunshine start to break out by later this morning and into this afternoon. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. Well, blood supplies here in Kentucky are dropping. The bad weather we've seen in the last few weeks has had an impact on the amount of units the Kentucky Blood Center is getting through donations, and that's causing some issues at hospitals here in the Commonwealth. UK health officials say they would not be able to do what they do on a daily basis without the Kentucky Blood Center, who supplies blood to hospitals across the state, including UK. For the 17th day in a row, Kentucky's positivity rate is down. There were 8,044 new cases reported yesterday. Our total now tops 1.2 million since the start of the pandemic. 34 new deaths were reported as well, taking us to 13,126. As we said, the positivity rate was down again, now at 21.99%, the lowest since January 5th. Hospitalizations were slightly up, but the number of patients in the ICU and on a ventilator were slightly down. And of course, you can always find the latest COVID-19 information on our website at WYMT.com. The Kentucky Senate Health and Wellness Committee approved an emergency resolution that would recognize natural COVID immunity. Now, it's sponsored by Republican Senator Ralph Alvarado and would change state guidelines to recognize a positive antibody test as being the same as being fully vaccinated. It passed a first reading yesterday. If approved by the House and Senate, it would be in effect until January 31st, 2023. State Auditor Mike Harmon says there are still a lot of problems with Kentucky's unemployment insurance system. The annual audit shows a lot of money was paid out in fraudulent claims. Auditor Harmon says random samples showed at least $118,000 in fraudulent claims from people falsely claiming they worked for the state. And a bill to reduce Kentuckians' car tax bills has passed the House. House Bill 6 would lower car property taxes in 2022 to the same levels as last year and will give a refund to anyone who already paid this year's bill. It also changes the valuation process starting next year to avoid something similar happening. It will now head to the Senate. A hearing on redistricting maps is scheduled to take place in Frankfort today. It's in a response to a lawsuit challenging the legality of the new Republican maps. The hearing will take place in Franklin County Circuit Court and will focus on the request for a temporary injunction to stop the redrawn maps from going into effect for now. We, of course, will cover that hearing and we'll have an update on how things progress. And today, the Senate Education Committee will take up Senate Bill 83, which would ban transgender girls from competing in girls' sports here in Kentucky. Several other states have passed similar bills, including Tennessee and West Virginia. Right now, existing KHSAA policy requires transgender athletes to undergo sex reassignment surgery before competing on a team aligned with their gender identity. Feeding Kentucky representatives hosted a news conference yesterday in Frankfort. That meeting was held to shed light on removing barriers to breakfast in Kentucky schools. The organization is working with Kentucky leaders to help make sure school districts have the option to serve students breakfast during the first 15 minutes of school. Nearly 280,000 children in Kentucky miss school breakfast due to factors like long bus rides. And London police are joining the effort to help feed Kentucky. They will be hosting a Pack the Cruiser event on Saturday, February 26th. It will be at the Speedway store on West Highway 192 between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Event coordinators ask for you to bring non-perishable foods. The items will be going to God's Pantry Food Bank in London. Applications are now available for recycled tire and crumb rubber projects. The grant funding can help with things like mulch projects and walking trails that want to use recycled tires. There are some projects that are not eligible for this grant, such as athletic fields or civil engineering projects. The grants are provided by the Kentucky Division of Waste Management. Well, throughout the region, people are seeing an increase on their power bills. The Big Sandy Rural Electric Cooperative and the East Kentucky Power Cooperative say there are multiple reasons why. One is the increased usage due to heating your home during a very cold January, as well as a big spike in the cost of fuel.
In the last 3 months of 2021, East Kentucky Power saw both gas prices and purchase power prices that were about twice as much as we were paying in 2020.
Officials say the cooperative is waiving late fees in February, and if you are a member and have trouble paying your bill, to call the Big Sandy RECC office for help. Well, thank you so much for getting your Thursday morning started with us here. Coming up, a storm out in space puts a group of satellites in danger. We'll have those details on the way.
And while temperatures will be a touch cooler today behind that front we had last night, the sunshine is on the way back. I'll tell you how long it'll last in about 3 minutes.